example 3. So in example 3, there are one figure there. Okay, you have y-axis as well as x-axis. Okay, the point is in between of x and y, and if you look at that particle, okay, there are three forces that acted on the particle. We have F1, which is downward. Value of force 1 is 10 Newton. Okay, and then you have F2. F2 is acted here. For this F2, the arrow is acted on the particle. Okay, usually the arrow is out from the particle, like this F1. Okay, so for this F2, we can extend the line of F2 so that the arrow is out from the particle. Okay, so here is F2. The value is 30 Newton. Okay, we can delete the previous one. The third force is acted on the particle. Direction is to the right, which is F3 equal 40 Newton. Okay, the question asks for the resultant force. Okay, the question asks for the magnitude and direction of resultant force. Okay, we want to determine the magnitude of the resultant force first. Okay, because there are three forces here, so we can make a table. Okay, so vector, x component, and y component. Okay, there are three vectors that acted on the particle. We have F1, F2, and F3. Okay, so how to resolve F1? Okay, look at F1. F1 is the direction of F1 is downward. So since the direction is downward, thus F1 has no value in x component. So it will be 0. Okay. At y component, F1 is solely at y-axis. Okay, so the value is 10 Newton and direction is downward. Okay, thus the direction downward is negative and the value is 10. Okay, so next F2. F2 lies in a between of y-axis and x-axis. Okay, in the question it gives you 60 degree. The angle is given at this point is 60 degree. So we transfer 60 degree. You learn in mathematics. Okay, so 60 degree is here. Okay, transfer the value. We can erase this. Okay, so to resolve F2 in x component. So here is line of F2. We want to bring F2 to x-axis. And if we bring this line, it will pass by the 60 degree. Okay, so to make it short, if the line pass by the angle, it will be cos. Cos if the line pass by. Okay, in Malay, Madam cakap lalu. Dia lalu angle tu, so it will be cos. Okay, for F2 in y component, this is your F2 and we want to bring F2 to y axis. It doesn't touch the angle, isn't it? Dia tak lalu pun angle 60 degree. So kalau tak lalu, it will be sine. Okay? Kalau tak lalu angle, it will be sine. Okay? Berdosa kalau tak lalu. Okay? That's the tips. So we want to resolve F2 in x component first. Okay? So F2, to resolve to x component, the direction will be to the left. And because the direction is left, now x component will be negative. Okay, so negative because the direction is left, the amount is 30 Newton, 30, and it is passing by the angle, so it will be cos, and the angle is 60. Okay, you can calculate, you can press your calculator. So the value is negative 15 Newton. Okay, for F2 in Y component, F2 in Y component, the direction will be upward, right? So because the direction is upward, upward is positive. So thus the value is just 30. And it doesn't pass by the angle. So because it doesn't pass by, so the trigonometry that we choose is sine. Sine, and the angle is 60, kan? It doesn't pass by angle of 60. Okay, press your calculator and the answer is 26. Okay, now look at F3. F3 is solely lies on x-axis. Direction is to the right. So F3 in x component, because the direction is to the right, it will be positive and the amount is 40. Okay, we don't resolve this because the direction is now to the right. It solely lies on the x-axis. Okay, for y component, it will be 0. Okay, so the last part is sum of the f. Okay, sum of f. We sum the x-axis, all the x-axis component, 0 plus negative 15 plus 40, you will get 25. Okay. In y component, negative 10 plus 26 plus 0, you will get 16. So what is this value mean? Okay, 25 here is a total force in x component. So it's a positive, right? So positive in x component mean it will be to the right. Okay, total F in x component. In y component, you obtain the total force in y component is 16. It is still positive. What does it mean by positive y? It means upward. Okay, here is total F in y component. Thus, the resultant force must be in between of them. Okay, F resultants is here. Okay, to get this value of F resultants, it's mean a theorem Pythagoras, right? Because this one is a hypotenuse and you can obtain the right angle triangle of this triangle. Okay, so it will be theorem Pythagoras. So F resultant will be equal total of fx square plus total of fy square. Okay, your fx is 25 square plus total of fy is 16 square. Thus, you will obtain F resultants equal 29.7 Newton. Okay, so you have determined the magnitude of resultant force. Now direction. To determine direction, we will determine the angle of this right angle triangle. Okay, so we can use trigonometry of tangent theta. Tangent is, by the way, equal to opposite over adjacent. So the opposite here is Fy. Total of Fy divided by total of Fx as the adjacent. Okay, we can substitute the value. Fy is 16. The Fx is 25. Okay. So arctangent, we will get theta equal arctangent 16 over 25, you will get 32.6 degree. Okay, so once you obtain the value of direction of angle here, you have to mention where is the location of the angle. Okay, it's either you draw the right angle triangle, or you can state in a statement, you can state it is the direction of angle is from positive x-axis. Okay, so 32.6 degree positive x-axis because it goes to the first quadrant.